Jasmine Paolini and Dubai director explain why Alexandra Eala is already huge for women's tennis. Alexandra Eala is already huge and important for tennis, according to both Jasmine Paolini and the director of the WTA 1000 tournament in Dubai, with the Filipina moving into the second round of the event. The world number 40 was in action on Monday in the United Arab Emirates tournament against Hailey Baptiste. The American retired whilst down 6-4, 0-1, due to an abdominal injury. Eala looked in solid form and received a rapturous reception from the crowd, which have become commonplace for the youngster. She will next play former Wimbledon champion and sixth seed Jasmine Paolini, with the pair having never met at a professional event. The Italian was asked about what Eala means for the future of women's tennis, given how well received she has been. "I think it's really important to have people from all around the world playing tennis," said Paolini. "Somebody like Alexandra Eala, it's a huge thing for tennis. I think it's great to have many fans also coming in tournaments where usually there are fewer people. Like Abu Dhabi was full of people watching Eala. I also remember the first match in Doha. You could hear from outside the court people cheering for her. It's great. I think also for the generation that are coming after that for tennis. We all know Asia has a big population, so a lot of people that can come to tennis, can support us, can support our sport as well." Eala has had a mixed 2026 season so far, reaching the semi-finals of Auckland before being defeated in the first round of the Australian Open. Since that disappointing defeat, the Filipina already managed to make the last 8 in both Manila and Abu Dhabi. Talik, director of the Dubai event, shared a similar sentiment to Paolini and, correctly, predicted that the large Filipino community would welcome the 20-year-old with open arms. "Eala is a fantastic young player," he said. "She is very positive and very enthusiastic. So we are hopeful that she is received well. We have 3,000 Filipino staff in Dubai duty-free. And such a Filipino presence in Dubai and the UAE in general. I think it's close to 1 million, the number of Filipinos we have in the UAE now. It's a very big community. So it's important because we are creating loyalty among fans. You create knowledge and awareness about the player, and they follow the player. She is an Asian player who is making a mark on the world stage. So when a rising Asian star arrives here for this tournament, it will only upgrade the tennis and our tournament." Want more from Tennis 365? Add us as a preferred source on Google to your favorites list for tennis coverage you can trust. A new dawn in women's tennis. How Alexandra Eala shines under the Dubai lights. When tennis announces its next star, it doesn't always come with trumpets and applause. Usually it arrives quietly, through data, through rankings creeping up, through moments that look small at the time but, in hindsight, feel inevitable. But in February 2026, under the dazzling lights of the Dubai Duty-Free Tennis Championships, something different happened. It wasn't just a breakthrough match or an inspired run. It was a statement, a tapestry of hope woven from every corner of the tennis world. Two voices summed up this moment more vividly than most. Jasmine Paolini, a seasoned competitor at the top of the women's tour, and Sulla Talik, tournament director in Dubai. Both, coming from different roles and perspectives, explained why Alexandra Eala is already huge for the sport and why her presence matters on and off the court. But calling her huge barely scratches the surface. The moment the lights shifted. Imagine Dubai's center court, a place where champions collide and crowds pulse like a living heartbeat. Famous names, major seeds, traditions that stretch back decades. Yet on this particular evening, all eyes were drawn not to a Grand Slam champion or a perennial top 10 player, but to a 20-year-old who had already done something remarkable. Alexandra Eala stepped onto that court, not as a favorite, not as a household name in the same league as legends, but as something even rarer, a cultural phenomenon in the making. The stands weren't just filled with casual fans, they swelled with a blend of identity, pride, and raw emotion. Filipino flags waved, fans chanted, and the air crackled with anticipation. It felt, as some commentators called it, like a Davis Cup atmosphere, even in a WTA 1000 event. This wasn't merely about sport. It was about representation. Eala wasn't just playing tennis, she was carrying entire communities with her, inspiring young athletes who had grown up watching other sports dominate the headlines. Suddenly, tennis wasn't distant anymore. Suddenly, it was a dream within reach. 2. Why Jasmine Paolini calls her huge. In tennis, respect among players isn't casually given. It's earned through grit, consistency, and the ability to rise under pressure. So when Paolini, who herself navigates the pressures of elite competition, spoke about Eala, it carried weight. Paolini didn't speak in clichés. She spoke from experience, understanding what it takes to carve a career in a sport where margins are tiny and expectations massive. And when she said Eala is huge, she didn't mean it in terms of physical presence or ranking alone. Paolini recognized what others were beginning to see, a shift in cultural significance. Eala wasn't just winning matches, she was changing narratives. On a tour filled with names from tennis powerhouses, here was a young woman from Southeast Asia, a region not traditionally known for producing top-tier tennis stars, forging her own path. That means something deep. It means inspiration. It means visibility. It means that when young girls in Manila, Cebu, or Davao open their tennis rackets today, they're not just playing a sport, they're believing in possibility. Paolini's acknowledgement was almost ceremonial, a passing of the torch from one generation to the next, declaring aloud what many had felt quietly: Eala signifies more than her ranking. She represents a new chapter in women's tennis. 3. The director's vision: crowd, community, culture. Tournament director Sulla Talik offered another view, not one derived solely from athleticism or rankings, but from connection. In his words, it's a very big community. So it's important because we are creating loyalty among fans. In other words, having Alexandra Eala in the draw wasn't just about competition, it was about community engagement. Dubai is home to one of the largest Filipino diasporas in the world. Thousands gathered not just for the spectacle of tennis, but to see one of their own compete at the highest level. When those fans fill a stadium, when they chant, wave flags, and stand in solidarity, something profound happens. Tennis transforms from a sport to a cultural event. Talik even drew a parallel with Sania Mirza, the iconic Indian tennis star who once drew massive Indian support in Dubai. He sees in Eala the potential to spark a similar wave of enthusiasm, perhaps even more so, given how new her rise feels and how emotionally contagious her story has become. In this way, Eala's impact isn't measured solely in aces or break points, but in packed stands and vibrant crowds, voices growing louder with each match she plays. For the story behind the rise. To truly appreciate why these figures consider Eala huge, we have to revisit her journey, a meteoric climb that contains